Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Here's the rookie from Alabama, Will Reichard, ready to get us started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to pass. First play is Prescott. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
The first carry now. This is Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Prescott from the gun. Pass complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now out comes Minnesota. On play action, now McCarthy. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And 3rd and 8 now. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, and they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That throw right on the money from the quarterback from Michigan. It's a first down.
And what a call, because they ran a triple out route. 3 guys running out routes at varying depths. And then they let an inside receiver try and sneak free and run deeper downfield, and he does. And the defense out of sorts here, and it turns into a big play.
Down inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 33 yards. And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Throwing, Prescott. His throw incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
George Pickens, his intended receiver there. And now it's 2nd down. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
He's got a man, complete. Down the right sideline. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jordan Addison, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush, talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his first year in the NFL, but I don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 8. On the counter, here's Williams. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Here's Prescott. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now Prescott. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Two yards to go, second down. Off the play fake, Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Prescott now. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
Prescott to throw it. Left side to Lamb. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To the air again, Prescott. Touchdown, Cowboys! A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys are back within a score. They haven't fully climbed the mountain, but they've started the ascent here with that score.
I like that, right? I think they've left base camp now,
there you
okay?
go.
So they've started to move their way up the mountain. Long way to go, but at least they know it's manageable.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and that'll make our score 14-7. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
He'll get this to about the 38.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal Get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
McCarthy off the play fake. This is caught by Addison. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the
Give me the
football.
ball.
And guess what? I'd throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's 2nd and 3. Up the middle, Jones. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now McCarthy. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. And this one is right through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And this is incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27. After one, 17-7 the score on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10, as they've got it as we resume action. Play action now, Prescott. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a 1st down.
Got to get to the 26 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Here's Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Williams. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jake Ferguson. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have cut it back within a score. Aubrey now for the point after. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And, Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Kavontae Turpin deep for the Cowboys. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Loose inside the 30. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
Now Prescott. Got a man and he hits him in stride. So no gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Fires a slant, completes it to Tolbert. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Mike McCarthy pretty decisive. He brings out that red challenge flag. Aubrey now for the PAT. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Addison will go in motion left. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Looking to throw McCarthy. Over the middle and complete to Addison. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. That is caught, and he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. He's such a good route runner, shows it there on 3rd down, very proficient, and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. There was Osa Odighizuwa on the tackle.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest. On
play action, McCarthy. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by DeMarvion and Overshone. And the Cowboys are going to take over here up near the 40. Following the interception, here's Prescott. To the sideline and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Prescott. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Now a 2nd and 10. Prescott yet again. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 38-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Cowboys are able to widen their advantage. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And now out comes Minnesota. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To the air with McCarthy. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He has such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
On play action, now McCarthy. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is McCarthy. A quick throw there is incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Here's McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Dallas offense set for this next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Prescott from the gun. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy. He's got his tight end over the middle. T.J. Hawkinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now McCarthy. And this one is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball. but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again, McCarthy to Jefferson on the slant. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
This to the sideline and over everybody, incomplete. No flags forthcoming, though. Maybe a break there. That looked like a clear throwaway to me.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. McCarthy going to throw again. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Osa Odighizuwa with the effort there to earn the sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Back to throw. McCarthy. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. From the gun on 3rd down. McCarthy, middle of the field to Jefferson. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Gets this out wide to Pickens. Room here to run. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Prescott now. Finding Pickens for another catch. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Here's Prescott. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Prescott to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ferguson. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now Prescott. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Javon Hargrave gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Steps away to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So that potentially a turning point here this 3rd quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick 6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense, delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
McCarthy going to look to throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it.
Oh, right on the heels of the pick six, another ball intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now a 2nd and 2. There go play action. Here's McCarthy. Completes this to Addison out left. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On play action, McCarthy. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw McCarthy. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Temporarily out of field goal range long after the holding call. McCarthy off the play fake. On the move to his left. And he'll be taken down at the 44. Him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
And his kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. Well, the 3 points certainly helps, but you feel like, Charles, at this stage of the game, when you force those turnovers, need to start converting them into touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised myself because I thought in this situation they were thinking end zone or bust. Now they got to rely on their defense to get the ball back again for another opportunity to get 6 points.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul. But the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound. And the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's second down.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Out of the pistol, here's Williams. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 103 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Back now in Arlington. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. And his kick is right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Running right, Jones. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Again, it's Jones. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
An inside give to Jones. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
The give is to Jones. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4. A give to Jones. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To the air with McCarthy. Eluding the pressure right. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Going for it. Here's McCarthy. There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings.
A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Vikings have taken a 4th quarter lead.
Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Addison hauls it in.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies.
Looking for Addison again, and he's got him again.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 87 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple, down to the 15-yard line.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Throwing is McCarthy.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson.
And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Now Jones. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Jones is in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Point after try forthcoming. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
So Dak and the Cowboys down by 10. 1:51 on the clock. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery, but first things first. 1st and 10.
Now Prescott. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Prescott. He's got Pickens, complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
A 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Jonathan Allen, the talented lineman, planning him for the sack.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
And this will be caught at the 30. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Prescott.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Under 50 seconds to play. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Dak. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Here now, 3rd down. To throw, Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
And his kick here is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So we're back to a 1-score game, and now you figure we'll likely see an onside kick.
Yeah, they've only got the 1 timeout remaining, so I think they've got to take a chance at getting the ball back.
So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Big D.